to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, meeting is called to order. Public comment. I want to start out first, Al?
Yes, on our new billing service. Couple questions on that. One of them says, due dates will vary each billing cycle. What's the reasoning on that?
So when I talked to them, they said that they hadn't decided whether to put us into the schedule yet. So originally they told me that they're supposed to send out, bills get sent out every Wednesday. So they weren't sure if they were gonna start us out like on the first Wednesday or the last Monday, or Wednesday, I apologize. So I'll touch base with them now that it's getting closer to their takeover date and just see if they have like that set date.
And reading through this, it looks like you gotta get online and create an account with them.
You don't have to.
That's kind of what I read of it.
I mean, you can continue to do it, so it's encouraged, because that way, like, say we run into issues where you don't get your bill on time, you can log in and see it. And, you know, look at your like whole yearly history. But as far as like, you can still send in your check to pay monthly. And then the card fee is the same as what it was with D&D. And so the way they described their online account process and their, I don't know if you've ever tried to pay your bill online with them,
No.
with D&B, it's not a user-friendly website whatsoever. So this is supposed to be a lot easier to navigate.
So as I say, there's people in town that don't have a computer.
Right.
Don't get on the internet.
Well, no, I mean, it's the same in regards to as D&B is, you still send a bill, you can still send in a check to them.
Anybody else? Okay, moving on. We need a consent agenda to approve the treasurer's report, approval of bills, last month's minutes.
I'll make a motion to accept the agenda.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Old business, trunk or treat. Anybody got anything you wanna report on that? It's on go.
I put it on there just as a reminder that, trick or treat through the village, 5 to 7, trunk or treat, 6 to 7. Be there and set up by 5:30 if you plan on participating in handing out candy along Main Street.
Trunk or treat is 6 to 7.
Yes, yep. And Dallas isn't here because we were gonna just verify that we are doing cookies and, or donuts and cider. But I would say that yeah. And it's already on Facebook, so.
He's kind of stuck.
Yes. He's not here to say otherwise.
They've always done it for the last 50 years that I know of, so, or longer. Okay. New business. We were supposed to have the audit, but Kelly had a family issue, so we'll skip that till next month. I'm sure she'll be ready then. Part-time employee, for those that don't know, Levi turned in his resignation, I should say. The personnel committee met tonight to decide, and what did you decide?
Alright, so we are going to, starting tomorrow, start just advertising on Facebook and just posting around town. We are going to try and avoid Indeed. That was just a lot all at once, when we hired Bob. So we're going to put like a 2-week time frame on it, just say like we're accepting applications unless we find somebody, right off the bat. We do want Bob to kind of be involved in that process too, cause he knows what we're looking for and kind of, you know, can give the rundown of what we do day-to-day basis. So a couple of things that we talked about changing in like the job description. So instead of doing a clothing allowance, we are going to provide, you know, like 2 to 3 high-vis shirts, and then $100 for boots, but only after you've been here for 6 months. The same thing, if you quit 6 months, you have to pay that for uniforms, like, just as an incentive to keep somebody around, so, you know, we don't pretty much hire somebody and then they turn around and quit. Starting pay is going to be $16, and then, you know, obviously based on experience, or, you know, if we find a really good candidate, there's some room to work there. We're gonna say that they are going to get on average 20 hours a week. And then obviously a little bit more during like snow season, things like that.
You're saying guaranteed 20 hours a week?
Yeah, to try and incentivize somebody. I mean, if we find somebody that says like, you know, they're retired and say, okay, well, I'd be okay, I'm getting like 12 hours a week, then great, but
No, that's fine,
to
I
make
just
it worth
wanted to,
somebody's while, 20 hours. And then we're also going to put in there, you've got like 2 Saturdays and a Sunday that Bob gets first dibs on if Bob wants overtime, but otherwise, you're here for Heritage Days, if we have it, you're here for Eats in the Street cleanup, and then, spring cleanup would be Bob and pro time.
Does it East of the Street pay for that?
They do, and then, but we've also like, you know, can't relate to that.
Yeah, Melissa's fine with it.
well, we've always paid our employees for Eats in the Streets. If Melissa give them anything
Free food.
from Eats in the Streets, it was a bonus. Leftovers.
Is council on board with that, then start advertising on Facebook?
What are you looking at for a ceiling for max wage?
Believe I was making 18.
Right.
Um,
That's pretty substantial for a part-time
Right,
person.
and that's, and
right?
so it's not like we have, you know, back-breaking manual labor, like, it's not like
Working
we're,
for Bob, that should be $20 a week. Start.
Surprised you didn't make me pay you.
No. I had thought that out loud a few times, yeah.
so if everybody's okay with that though, we'll just get a motion to start advertising, starting wage $16 an hour, and then we'll kind of, we'll do when we heard Bob, we had personnel do interviews, just kind of do the same process, and personnel just coordinate, do interviews, and then we need a special meeting, call one before hiring. Okay, so I need a motion then to
I'll make
accept.
a motion that Ellie go ahead and put that on Facebook to hire part-time help, starting $16 and guaranteed 20 hours.
Second it. All in favor? Opposed? Okay. Robert, what do you got to report? Anything exciting?
So, the salt truck is fixed. We saved money there, cause it was like, I think we said, more than what it cost, so we were good there. Dump truck is fixed. And I did find some grit tape, they call it, cause Dallas was saying some other fire burns we fell, wanna do something with that floor. Talk to him more about it, but it's about $250, I think, for the material that I found. And if he's okay with that, we could go that route instead of doing the entire floor. So it'd be on the sides of the trucks when they get in or out.
Have you talked to him about that?
He told me Sounds good. Not for that, but whatever I come up with sounds good, so nobody falls. But I think that's the cheapest route out versus any other.
Hang on, I'm writing.
Sure.
You both feel that
How
that
much
would be
was that per
safe?
roll?
Well, for enough to do what needs to be done is about $260. It's like $30-something a roll.
Okay.
What's that, just like a tape, basically?
Yeah,
Sticky backing or something?
Mhm.
Because you know it's a wider.
It's like sand.
Yeah, it's wide.
adhesive.
You scrub the floor real good and just lay it down and adheses it. And
Will it work well, like with the fire trucks, if they accidentally run it over instead of,
if anything, it'll help it stick better.
okay.
Maybe we'll get them to run it over to stick it down.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
No, I was just wondering, like, if it hits it, is it gonna like slide or anything like that, or it's gonna stay stuck very good?
They usually use it for like steps, on the edge of steps when you go,
Oh, okay.
something like that.
Okay.
Motion to buy the tape.
Well, if Dallas is okay.
Yeah, I mean, I'll run it by him, but we're here, so.
Other, cause I'm sure he's out on that fire call,
Yeah.
I hope so.
and that way we're not putting it off another month.
Yeah, let's do it, 'cause it's a safety
If
concern.
Dallas approves it,
Okay. And I would like to try to get approved for,
Hold on one second. So, Wally made the motion.
I'll second it.
Hold your horses down.
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay. Cause if Dallas was here,
Sure.
he'd have an opinion, but I don't wanna put it off another month.
I'll talk to him before I just do it, but I just wanted to have it ready if he's okay with it. And I would like to try to see about, or see if we can order another set of lawnmower blades for that zero turn, because they do need to be sharpened now and then, but if we have a set off it, we can get them sharpened and put the other new ones on and keep going. And then when we go to change them out again, we'll be able to have an already sharpened pair.
How much is the new set?
About $100. 109.65, if I remember correctly.
You know, it's more than I do. Just a thought.
That's what it was the last time, anyway.
About anywhere between 110, 120.
Roughly, yeah.
Can you go to Spratz and get them?
Yeah. Yeah, we bought a lot. Just in case you want, you know. And they're down $109 by the box.
I'll make a motion to go ahead and buy another set of blades for $120.
Cause as of now, that's the only one more we have.
Yeah.
So,
I'll make
Second.
the motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? By the blades.
that's all I have.
That's it?
That's it.
I don't have any information from the fire department. So,
We can say they have one run right now.
We did,
One run for this month.
going back to streets, we did, so, we got a quote from the Detroit Salt Company, to get salt from them. So we did sign a, sales quote with them, we have to do the actual official order. So after I sent in the signed sales quote, they sent me back like another contract. That's 50 ton of salt for $71.55 per ton, and then, their delivery, which we broke it down with what we paid in the past through the county, and kind of so they deliver it, and it's cheaper per ton to do.
They're gonna bring by train loads, so we're gonna get that.
Yeah.
So
Wouldn't be used last year, but
how many tons we use, Bob?
A lot. I don't know, cause I usually just write my tonnage down on the papers that I turn in. So now I have to get a chart so I can have it for my books back there.
do we think 50 ton will hold us for the season?
There's some back there now,
Yeah,
but I don't know the total amount that was there
I guess it
before.
depends on the season too.
It should get us through most of the year.
I would think, yeah.
That would, yeah, that's quite a bit.
So if we could just get a motion then to approve the Detroit Salt Company at $71.55 per ton for 50 ton.
Make a motion for it.
I'll second it.
What's the name of the company?
Detroit Salt Mine.
Detroit Salt Mine.
Detroit.
All in favor? Opposed? Salt.
Thank you, I forgot that.
I have the contract in front of me, so that's.
Okay. I got a phone call today. The Summer Rec are selling mums for $10 each. They wanted to know if we needed some. I took the liberty to tell them we'd take 4, so that when petunias get pulled off the corners, we can put the mums there. That'd be $40. Either that or my wife's gonna get $40 worth of mums. We need a motion if you're interested, if not,
I'll make a motion.
thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, passes. All right. Covered the part-time guy. Ellie reported last month that we got a grant for $2,000 for playground equipment. We made some phone calls trying to come up with something. In the meantime, Litchfield Schools had a auction for some of their older equipment. I went to that last night, didn't buy nothing, because the superintendent of the schools, right before the auction started, said, our insurance man said these swings and stuff are outdated and they're a liability. So I'm thinking maybe we don't want them for our ball diamond. But I did stay and watch, and they had a list. I don't have it on me right now, it's in the office. And Ellie and I talked it over, and the one swing set, I thought we might go $900. I know that went for $1,350. The other one went a couple $100 over what we talked about, so. But after they told me about the liability deal, I thought, I better go cheap if I'm gonna buy it. So, we tried. In the meantime, yesterday morning, I got another phone call, and I had made a call Monday in the office, trying to get playground companies to talk to us so we could get an idea of what they had. This guy's supposed to be sending us a catalog, and he's got 40% off on the fall sale stuff. So, we're still looking, but we're on track. I know Ellie wants to get something ordered so that we have the $2,000 spent for that.
What's the time frame on it, for us to use that?
It's technically, so when I did the grant report, I have to give like an estimated timeline, so I did say that we would try to get it in this fall, but if it doesn't get until spring, like, they're not gonna.
Like,
Yeah.
pull it from us or anything crazy.
Okay.
Speaking of Poland, that reminds me. Over to Litchfield, you were responsible for digging up the playground equipment. And I said, well, how much cement's underneath those poles? We have no idea.
Oh, boy.
I didn't know if we were digging up poles this big around, or that deep.
6 foot deep in the ground. You get, eat the concrete too?
Well, if it's stuck to the pipe, you can't. Halloween, we gotta talk to Dallas, just double check. They've always done it in the past, but get cider and donuts for the kids and adults. We got a quote from Mark Stoll. I asked him just what he thought about it, and if he would be willing to go up and do it. We're missing 2 pieces of metal roofing on our old mill over here. And he has, I got it on my phone, we didn't have time to get it on paper. He will put those 2 pieces up there for us and secure it down for $475. Does it need a new roof? Probably, but it needs 2 sheets of metal put up there to cover the boards, that those 2 sheets have blown off. I don't know anybody else that would be cheaper than Mark. I would like to tell him we could do that, but I need council's approval.
That's this building right here, right?
Yes.
Big building.
Is it like worth saving?
Pardon me?
Is it worth saving it? Is it?
It is,
not?
in my opinion. The inside is solid. The foundation looks kind of rough, but it's solid. So. And I just told him I had to present it to you people to see if you were interested. But if we're gonna do it, I'd like to do it before it gets snow and ice and everything else, and we have to ask him to go put the patches.
I feel like that's a lot of money, and like how are we ever gonna be able to save the building? I know it's an older building, but like $500 to just,
Well,
How
probably,
big a patch is it? How big are the sheets, you know?
probably about that wide.
8 foot long,
The
4
full
foot
length
wide.
of the full length of the roof, or the full height?
No, just from peak down to these.
That's what I mean, the full peak and
Full run.
so you've got 2 sections
That are off.
and that stuff's not cheap by any means, as far as the steel goes.
Wasn't there at one point in time, somebody that was interested in like helping pay for the cost for that restoration?
But somebody volunteered to paint the building, but we turned them down.
I wasn't sure what the volunteer basis was.
But we do store stuff in there.
That was my next question, what's in the building now?
I would assume to get up there, it's gonna cost about $175 to $200 just to rent a skylift to get that high. But he said something about scaffolding, so.
Yeah,
he has that.
He's got a skylift.
Sure, I'm just thinking as far as the actual price of it, it's not bad,
No.
not my opinion, just
I
knowing
don't know,
that I've dealt with a lot of that kind of stuff.
Was it about $80 a sheet or $100 a sheet for that, I think?
Every bit of 60 for sure.
I know, yeah, it's up there.
That's like, it's gonna be. a
What's
full
the
length.
future for that building?
yeah, that's,
I didn't know the village even owned it.
that was my question.
Yes, we do. We bought that when Hess was here.
But what is the future for the building?
We use it for storage right now.
What exactly do we store in there?
Street stuff. We have- Well, we used to keep barricades in there.
There's fire department stuff in there, there's some lumber in there. Different kind of street stuff, signs. Some old bingo stuff.
Well, I know at one time we talked about trying to find like a historical grant to restore it, but we also need to have the conversation, how much money do we as the village too, in addition, like if we don't get a full grant, or if it's a matching grant, we need to decide if we wanna invest in it.
Janice?
At one time, I know somebody wanted to save it and have a museum. But somebody's gotta run a museum. So where would you get the money to ever do a museum, and what would you put in it? Old people. Old people.
What you guys think?
I will say the historical room at the library is too small now.
Oh, really? Down here?
So, I mean, if we started something like that, there would be stuff donated to go in there, I'm sure.
But you'd still have to have somebody to.
You'll have to have somebody to watch it.
And I was told at one time, didn't we have somebody look at the building and say that the foundation was not great?
The foundation is not great, but it's solid enough that I wouldn't be afraid to go in there and do stuff. It's not gonna collapse on you.
It can still be repaired.
About 90% sure of that.
As a side note, the poorhouse and the buildings on the poorhouse property, although they're overseen by a board that manages what happens there, in the event that somebody wants to come tour the house or the barns or anything, one of us just opens the buildings and either shows them around or lets them walk around. So if it did turn into a museum situation, there's definitely opportunity for somebody to just open it up, as opposed to maybe somebody being there all day running it or something, so.
Just have it open like on Heritage Day, like, all day. Or have volunteers in the community too, help run. Outside of just council.
And the only reason I bring it up is that if we don't patch this roof, the building's gonna get worse faster, if that's proper
Well,
English.
Not to mention the animal creatures that are
Is
getting.
there Amish that would do that too? Repair that work?
I've asked a couple of Amish guys to come up and look, I haven't, they don't get back with me. I've even told the one guy I'd come get him and, but they're too busy building pole barns someplace else, so.
It's something to ask for at least another comparison estimate, and see if we're within the realm of things. If it's a cost issue, maybe we can talk with, like, what kind of Stanley would be one, Trent Sawyer would be another.
And I can look into, and in the meantime too, I can look into some grants, just so we have an idea too, of like what's out there as far as restoration.
Yeah, if it's, that's what I was just trying to decide if that was coming from.
What was the one that, the poorhouse got for the buildings when they redid the doors and stuff on? Do you know much about that? Or were you kinda out of the scene at that time? Cause that was like a preservation grant that they got.
A lot of the grants that we've received at the poorhouse have been either through Hillsdale County Community Foundation, or there's actually a barn.
It's like a barn restoration.
Yeah, there's a group in Michigan that's like and they grant money for barn restoration type things, so we got a lot of money from them last year. I think last year.
It's also available for photos.
It is. So there's a lot of opportunities out there.
Okay, sidewalks. Sidewalks got started. Bob and I went down corner of Monroe and Knapp, and we talked with Mark. He suggested that we raise the corner up a little bit, and it'll be about 6 extra feet. Go around the corner, lifting that up so that the water from the road don't come back up on the sidewalk. And then we go up we go up the hill to the south, to our stopping point, and we'll have to do the rest of that street in another year or so, but it'll be a little over 100 foot. do with all the other little patch jobs that we got where you could fall or trip because of the humps in the sidewalk. That's where we're at on that. And then I have a quote from the girls at the library. Jackie Sutton sent me it. They have a quote for concrete would be $2,200. Excavating and fill sand, $1,500. Pour and form a concrete and finish grade for concrete, another $2,300. That adds up to $6,000. They're asking the village if we would split the cost with that, because that sidewalk is in the village. They said they could afford to pay half if we would be willing to pay the other half.
And where's the sidewalk going from to?
Oh, I'm sorry, got ahead of myself. Sidewalk will start at the north driveway of the school and go to the library. Because according to what I was told, the elementary kids are gonna utilize that library, they'll walk over there. That's what I was told.
There's a lot of kids I know after school that wander down there. Down to the library.
That floors are getting a bit crosswalk between there and Marguerite.
Cause they can come right up to the library, do their business, go back home, and then they can cross when they wanna go home, walk home. They can cross there, right there at the school, get on the sidewalk in front of Dollar General and go there. Putting a crosswalk there at the library with that hill that
I
close
know, it's
can
tough.
be a good idea for kids. They probably will, but I've seen a lot of kids don't even walk on the sidewalk, they walk on the road.
Yeah.
Another question, did the property owners okay this?
Yep, Jackie Sutton said she's got all the okays from the property. It's just a one house.
Oh, yeah, because from this part of the driveway.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
the one, it's the old model home or
The
whatever.
old
so,
model, okay.
yeah.
Ellie didn't tell me no, but she grit her teeth, I will tell you that, but
Well, I thought they were asking for the full 6,000, and I was definitely hesitant. That was that.
anyway,
I think 3,000 is much more reasonable, and especially if it helps the school make that connection.
It keeps kids from transitioning from a roadway a lot more than what they are now, so. It's budgeted halfway.
yeah, if someone wants to make a motion, I've just presented it.
I'll support him.
I think it keeps the kids safer.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that'll make Jackie Sutton happy. I'll make conference with my wife and lose them tomorrow. Okay, that's all I got. Streets, we have nothing at this time. Finance committee got anything?
Oh, I do. So I know, I think it was last month, we talked about Heritage Day and the village just kind of assuming responsibility for that bank account. It would be a separate sub-account. Kelly said that's completely okay. So we just need council's approval for the village to take over that Heritage Day account. And basically what that means is that, I would be like a liaison, basically, between Heritage Day and the council, and then when Heritage Day agrees and they need money for something, it's presented to us, we give the okay and cut the check. So, it doesn't really like affect our budget anyway, it's just a separate sub-account, just for
Heritage Days. I'll make the motion.
Second,
I'll second it.
all in favor?
Aye.
As a note, I think that the way that the account is set up currently, it's gonna be important to set up a new account and then move that money over, so we'll just get to that in
Yes, we'll have, so it'll be, Joanne, Rick, and myself, and that's who's on all of our current accounts, so we'll just get time and we can go.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're still
Okay.
on though, right?
Yeah, it's just me, I think.
But for future-
Fire committee, did you guys meet? I didn't remember that you did, but I thought I'd ask. Parks committee, just playground equipment, that's all we gotta do. Building and grounds, we're gonna get a couple more bids for the mill. Sewer committee, anything exciting? Ordinance committee, personnel committee, we've already discussed that. Okay, we're down to board comment.
Got one more thing. The salter on that truck, I'd like to order an extra front bearing and a rear bearing for that salter, which drives the chain to spread it. So we have them, cause those, one doesn't take grease very well. And the other one, well, it's the main drive, so if we could get them to have some brakes, then at least I got something. 'Cause as of right now, if it breaks, we
You're calling me.
calling Wally to help us out.
Volunteers, time, do you?
That is something.
Do you have a price for it?
Drop the shovel and salt. What did you say those would cost, less than $150?
Yes.
Just for two of them?
Yes. One for the rear, one for the back, and one for either side. So,
$150 total or $150 each?
total. Just replace them all.
My theory is one's going bad and you put the pressure on the other side.
I would agree.
It's gonna take a bear down. I would
So-
rather have them here than have to wait 3 to 4 days to replace a second one because it's already going bad too.
So
Just
now,
always keep a spare
so
set.
now we're talking $300.
Right, I mean, that's a small price to pay to make sure the streets stay solid.
I'll make that motion. Up to $300 to order, whatever.
Should be a little less.
Second.
All in favor? Opposed? Order them bearings, Robert.
Keep the plastic one.
Yeah. Those are the best. Coat hangers and those.
Public
Yeah.
comment. Anybody got any public comment? Janice, anything yet during today?
So, maybe. There were 4 people that showed up at the meeting that we had a couple weeks ago. It was encouraging. They are 4 people that want to do it. We discussed having another meeting in November, because 4 people doesn't make a committee. Unfortunately, that day requires a little more planning help than that. So they were tasked with finding some more people that wanted to help organize throughout the course of the year and make some other decisions, and then we're gonna meet in November to see where we're at, and then we'll have an answer.
Good.
Trying.
If not, you'll
If not, no.
We are looking for a replacement for organizer person for the eat in the streets,
Potentially.
potential.
So,
I'm just.
unfortunately, Wally just gives me money. Unfortunately, my work schedule, I normally know a year and a half in advance, and next year I am gonna be lucky to see any of you most of the year. So, it's gonna be bad. And I, right now, am a little OCD and running eats mostly by myself and making my family volunteer on the day of. I want to ask if what we're doing with Heritage Days funds, if we can potentially open a second account, for Eats. I run it for as little as possible, so there's like $15 in the account right now, so there's nothing to move, but, I think that's gonna be necessary in order for somebody else to come in and do that, because I just am not gonna be available potentially. For sure, I'm not doing it in June, because of other dates that we have and kind of how we, planned it for the last few years. Other months in the summer just aren't really feasible to do that. I'm on the fence about early October, and I've talked to the fairgrounds to make sure I understand what their fair schedule looks like next year, so that I could, kind of look at some dates with my schedule. Obviously, we've tried October once before, and I went home as a wet frozen popsicle. Everybody else had a blast, but I was very cold. So, I think it's just as iffy to do it in October, but we also had 100-degree weather in June this year to do it, and people still came. So, and I want to continue that. I don't know if all of you saw it, but, I don't know who voted in the Best of Hillsdale, but, Easton Street was in the top 3 festivals and fairs in the county. We didn't come in first, but man, I'm sure happy to be in the top 3. I don't know how, but, I'll take it. So I think that says a lot for the community and how the community comes together during those events that we have, and I don't wanna see it go away, even, you know, whether I'm doing it or not. I don't wanna give it up altogether, but I think I may need some help next year to make it a thing, so we're gonna have to cross that bridge. So that's a possibility we're gonna have to talk about over the next few months. I don't normally start planning Eats until after the first of the year because of, food trucks' schedules. Although I have talked to several people in the last month to see if they even have their calendars open yet, and several of them said, I will open my calendar for you. Which also said a lot about the event and the support that it gets. So, I think that's great, but we have a little bit of time. And we've already got some people that would commit to whatever date we gave them. So, we'll have to talk some more about that in the next couple months. Obviously, we have Trunk or Treat coming up, and the Scarecrow are we running it as a contest? I have not advertised it as one.
We are.
Okay.
Molly's agreed to donate some money, and I got a couple other people wanting to know.
Are we running,
I did agree to it.
are we running,
Sponsor
trunk decorations as a contest?
Can I get back to you on
Yes.
that?
Yes. Wally says yes.
Okay. And I will make a post tomorrow asking for sponsors. I've
Okay.
been very negligent on that, so.
So I have been pushing out to the community in a couple different places, what's going on all through October, just so people know what those dates look like, what times look like, when they need to have their scarecrows up.
Yeah.
So hopefully you start getting those phone calls if you haven't already.
A couple,
Independence.
I'll
We'll
put
have
you down,
them.
because I don't have you. And
Are you trying with the Tin Man?
No, the boys have been planning since last Halloween what they're gonna do this year, so I don't know what that means, but, and then those of us that had worked on the other things for this year, the lighted parade, moving the Christmas tree lighting to Saturday instead of Sunday, we did discuss pushing that more as we get closer to Halloween, so that we're not trying to overlap too many, event situations.
Communication issues.
Yeah, so, we have that we should have an update better next month, I would think, on kind of where that's sitting. I mean, I would hope so, since we're having it at the end of November, so. We'll be working on that.
If anybody knows about someone that would be willing to donate a Christmas tree for our tree lighting. Please let me or Ellie know. Pardon?
10-footer. I can bring one back from the north.
I wanna see you and Al decorate a 20-footer. I would say,
Why, bring me in this?
He left Bob out as he's looking around like, wait a minute.
I might donate
Was that-
Bob's that too.
We're gonna
Right?
have to, we're gonna have to buy a lot more lights to get a 20-footer, but a 12-footer would be great.
We're doing this, let's do it.
Come out, look at the tree I got in my garden. I don't know if it's gonna be tall enough or not this year, but take a look at it, see what you think.
Okay.
It's free if you want.
Well, in the last few years, we've been going out to Granny D's and finding one, but one year we did have someone volunteer to, if we could find one out of there, a bunch of trees, and they weren't very good looking, so we didn't do it, but I just thought I'd throw it out there.
we have a 40-footer at my house that Tom wants out.
I've got an 18-foot long trailer.
We only want the top 12 foot, can we take it? Okay. Any other comments?
You're looking Dallas.
Bonnie?
Could Ellie tell, I asked this one other time and then wasn't answered. What percentage of the village people do not pay their sewer bills?
I would say, let me calculate this real quick. So, $37.
They always pay, don't they? Because
Like
it's
say
put on
into
their
their
tax.
taxes.
I would say 30% go to taxes. Roughly.
And then with
That's
this
very-
new,
So I do have to say too, though, this year, and so that's based off probably last year's numbers. This year, it has been better. So I've noticed there's been a lot of turnover in the village. So people have been paid more promptly.
if they pay late, who gets the late?
Question. So Wally and I talked about this yesterday, and I'm gonna touch base with this new company, because their late fee
It's bid,
it is. So-
16
Oh,
bucks.
yeah.
So I was
Sure.
going to touch base with them and kind of, because they know that people do wait to pay it, like on their taxes. So it's a discussion that we have to have with owners, as far as, you know, if you're charging $16, like, the village should
We should be getting a portion,
profit
I feel. like we
part of
should.
that.
Yeah.
So I can report more on that next month.
I just posed that question, we were speaking the other day
Yeah.
about it, cause it's $16 per month for a late fee, and they're not gonna give you any notice. If
No.
your due date's let's say your due date's the 5th, if your bill is not paid by the 5th, you're gonna incur that $16, so.
Well, just this last one, it was post dated 9/16. The bill was due 9/12,
Yeah,
and I didn't get it till the 23rd, I think it was.
I think that's still a DNB.
Yeah.
It was still one of the older bills that they're cycling through, and so once this gets set into place and you've got a due date, you're gonna wanna probably be mindful of that, or they're gonna wanna incur the $16 fee on there, which Ellie's gonna do some checking. We literally just talked about this like 2 days ago, yeah. So, we've got some digging to do on it too. I think it's gonna be a better program, just because it does offer more versatility for online payment and that, but you don't pay your bill for the whole year, I mean, you're looking at close to $200 that they're gonna collect in fees, just for late fees.
Which is also nice too, though, I mean, because a lot of times too, and not everybody that doesn't pay their bill throughout the year, but a lot of times you see, there are also some of the same people that have light issues, that then foreclose, and then, you know, we're sitting on the money. So, in some aspects, the $16 is kinda nice to encourage people, like, pay your bill every month, so that way we're not, you know, waiting on foreclosures and back taxes to come back.
Yeah, kinda keeps them honest.
$16 is pretty near half of what the sewer bill is.
Right. So we need to see if there's like wiggle room on that, or like we said,
this, their standard flat fee. We
And
don't know,
they get to
so.
keep it, or that's what you're checking into?
Yeah.
What would the benefit be if we would work on getting the system here ourselves?
So we talked about that too.
You'd have a
So-
lot more work,
A
probably.
lot more work. You'd also, so right now we're paying $367 a month. The cost alone in our paper, ink, and postage, and my time, it would be way more.
You're talking stamps right now are what, 80 cents a piece, 85 cents?
You'd get bulk postage,
You
wouldn't you?
would, but
Right.
like I said, we would have to get like new equipment because our printer that we have would not handle
No.
that type of
No,
printing.
but
So
still.
toner,
benefit.
paper, postage,
You don't think it would benefit those?
not, if they were to raise our rates more, but I think at $367 a month, I think that is a very fair price.
Yeah,
Well,
plus you
yeah,
gotta
they're
figure-
making big bucks if we got 30% that aren't paying it. They're gonna collect $16. They got a good thing going.
Well, that's why we're gonna check, because I mean, we're technically holding that money, we're basically paying for that sewer to continue to run,
Another
like a
cost,
bank.
if we were to do it ourselves too, we would have to have like an online payment portal, so then you're gonna be paying card processing fees, like, there's a lot that, it's not like if you just print a bill and send in the mail every month, there would be a lot that
It
goes
was
into
just a
it.
question.
No, I know, I'm just, I'm letting you know, we've thought about it, and I've talked to other companies and talked to other villages, and at this point in time, it does not make sense for us to do our own.
Seemed like there was like an annual fee too for that program.
Yeah, cause it's
That
through
was quite a bit.
QuickBooks, right, so you could do it, so, other townships and villages use software called BSNA. And that's like, they do their taxes through that, if you have city water, like, everything can be run through that software, but we don't use that, we're so small, I do all of our taxes by hand. And so, the quote for us to get that software program was like $60,000.
It's like starting up a business basically, because you're bringing money in, money out, so there's a lot of expense up front that the village really, for $367 a month, it's hard to bite that bullet and move that direction, so. But yeah, we have some questions for them that, I know Ellie's gonna.
So next month I will have more answers about their fee schedule.
But did you know about all these fees when you hooked up with this company?
Nope, I got the letter, they sent me a copy of the letter probably 3 days before they mailed it out.
They bought out the company.
Yeah, we didn't have
We
a.
didn't.
They bought out the
We
company.
didn't have an option on it.
They honestly, so,
E&D Billing just sold it.
billing sent me an email and said, hey, do you have time to talk on the phone tomorrow? I said, yes. I get on the phone, call, it was a 3-way call with a new company, and they said, we've sold out, here, this is the new owner, this is who you're gonna be working with. Like, I had no advance notice that any of it was happening either.
Is there other billing companies out there?
We've met with, we've had Zoom calls with a couple of other companies. One is not whatsoever, like, to deal with the capacity of what we do. And then the BSNA was another one.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know, I think we checked with one more, out of like Texas, but it was not, once again, not like compatible for our stuff.
Burton.
Yeah.
This one's out of Burton, Michigan, Universal Utilities, so. I feel like that's where we were kind of, DMV, we were kind of having the issues with the bills showing up late, everything else was just kind of a, not necessarily a, kind of like they're foreclosing of what they were doing. I think they were already in the process of maybe moving forward, just in my opinion, because like you said, you weren't getting a bill until the 16th and it was due on the 12th, and they were trying to blame the post office against that, but I feel like there was other inter-office issues that were taking place.
That's what I just wondered if this new company, if we're gonna run into the same issues and then getting charged.
I think they're a larger company, so they have more resources. I think DMV, I think that they bit off more than they can chew. So you, for example, like this new company, when they receive payments, their payments go directly from their account to our account, it's all electronic. DMV billing would physically drive deposits to the bank 3-4 times a month. So like when I switch bank accounts, when we switched from County National Bank to Flagstar, And I told them, and they said, oh, good, it's a local bank. Another village or township switched banks, and we have to drive an hour just to make their deposits. So they had like those type of issues as well. So this company's bigger, they've got more resources. I think there's gonna be a few snags in the beginning, like any transition, but I think in the long run, it's gonna be a lot better.
I got that on tape.
Mark recorded, my personal opinion, just from talking to the new owners, I think
Okay, Dallas, are you ready? Have you got your breath?
I think so. We did record that you had one call already for this month, so you were on top of that.
Last month, we had 22 calls, 14 were medical, 3 fires, and then we had 5 PR events, which was just basically football games, parade that was in town, Hillsville, so. We're waiting for the FEMA grant to open, for the air pack grants. There's 5 departments that I've mentioned, that are in on that. One being us, obviously, and, so that's all we're waiting on that to see, get, all our information into the grant cycle, and fingers crossed, so that's going good. I don't know, some of you may know, some might not, from our golf outing, the money we received off that, we went and bought a portable pump. We thought that would probably be the best decision. It's getting tougher to come back to the village to get water from the well, so we figured a portable pump. Well, a few years back, I think they looked at doing some dry hydrants, the township did, but that never happened, so we purchased this pump for $900. What we can do is actually take it up out of the truck, take it down to a water source, pump the water from wherever it is, river, creek, pond, swimming pool. But,
Works.
So that way we don't have to come clear back to the village, especially when we're clear out by, like Bacon and Peterson, that area, things like that. I know the city helps us out with hydrants every once in a while, but, it's nice to have this, so. There's some things we had to do to it, to fabricate it. It came with regular standard thread, which we have to switch over to fire department thread, So, we're in the works with Adam, and he's making us, a little piece that weld on there to get it switched over, so that'll be up and going hopefully by, well, maybe by the end of this month, so. Another thing, we did our hose testing for the year. We have to do that in FBA states. We have to test our hose. We have a tester that we borrow from the city, so it's kind of like, at their mercy to do it, but, we did have two hoses that did fail, and we had one nozzle that failed. Out of roughly 18,000 some odd feet of hose, so that's not bad, but, the nozzle, what's that?
The nozzle's a hit.
The nozzle is a hit, yes. We'd like to get those replaced if we could. The hose, that's $200 a piece, but the nozzle's about $1,500. So, but I mean, we haven't bought any, we bought hose last year. We bought 5 sections that failed. We're getting into that older hose that's just breaking down. So the newer hose, when we haven't bought any in probably close to 15 years, hose or nozzles, so we're actually pretty decent set.
Did you have a secondary nozzle, or was that, basically, is that out of service now? Or can we
That
still
nozzle,
use
yeah,
it?
that's out of service. It's, what it's doing, it's, where you can adjust it, and where that's at, it's leaking out of there, so it's not getting straight, yeah, it's just pouring out. It's soaking us more than it is the fire, I believe. And it's supposed to hold, It's supposed to hold, we're supposed to get it up to 300 pounds of foot, or pressure, not foot pressure, but pressure, and it's supposed to hold for 5 minutes. And it didn't even hold a minute, it just blew out. Yeah.
Those are fun. Yeah. Cost almost as much to rebuild them as it does to buy
One
them.
said a new one cost 1,500.
1,500.
Is that a confirmed price, Bill?
That's, I talked to the guy over the phone, and he told me around 1,500, that's what he gave me. I didn't actually get an exact quote, but, he was on the road and never got back to me. He's a local rep, oh, what's that?
Inch and a half.
It's an inch and a half nozzle, you know. But the newer nozzles, which are kinda nice, like you're familiar with, the nozzle's just the nozzle, you can't, it goes at the end of the hose, you spray the water. The newer ones come to where you can take if you need to add a section of hose, that nozzle can break down, but you can keep the nozzle turned off. So the top portion will break down, and then you can add that section of hose, and instead of shutting down the whole pump with the truck and.
Charge line.
Right, you don't have to break
Restarted.
it, yeah,
And
so it's kinda nice.
the two hoses are $200 a piece?
Yes, they're 180 something a piece, so they're roughly, that's what they were last year, anyways, we bought the 5, and I looked and it's the same price.
So we're, to buy two hoses and a nozzle, we're looking around $2,000.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to approve that.
But the nozzle being an estimate, should we give them just a little bit more in case? And then-
2,200 ceiling on it for,
And then if he doesn't need it, then he doesn't need it, but then it's safe to get it.
2,200?
make a motion for 2,200.
All in favor? Opposed?
Thank you. The last thing I have, as of today, October 1st, the state of Michigan is making all the firefighters do a minimum of 12 hours every month of training. It's like same thing to hold our medical license, to keep our fire license. Now we have to have credits for doing trainings. So I had to go in there before October 1st, and they wanted the last 3 years. We're all good, because we do a 2-hour a month training. We've been doing that for the last 11 years since I've taken over as chief. So we're set, we're good, we've been doing it for the last 11 years. But I just wanted to let you guys know that in the future, there may be some trainings that I can't personally do at the station, and may have to pay for it, but, as of now, we're trying to keep it just inside and do as what we can. But it's to keep our fire license now, it's just like our medical license, we gotta show proof that we're doing trainings and things like that, so.
Is it gonna have different level of courses on it, or different curriculum that you're gonna have to?
As of right now, they're just keeping it basic, but the state's just now, this is something new for them as
Right.
well. So it's just basic, but in the future, I have heard that may come down to,
Extrication.
yes,
All that stuff.
that they're gonna have a set, like you have to have this many hours in this set training, like JAWS and for hose advancement or search and
Landing
rescue
zone
or
and all
whatever,
that.
yeah. But as of right now, and we do that anyways, like I say, we do extrication, we do, search and rescue, we do ladders, we do all that. And so anything that I can think of that the state possibly would say, hey, you gotta have this or this and this, it's been done already, so. So we're setting pretty good, so. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Any questions for Dallas? Need a motion?
Okay. We've already done public. I'm way behind the thing, aren't I?
Dallas made us late.
Darn fire hall.
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Dallas, before you leave, can I talk at you for a second?